Hi guys, it's me again, Molly-kun. Now I did have a video planned for this week, but after talking to some people I've changed what I'm going to be doing this week. So it's going to be a more light-hearted video than what I had planned. And I do apologise, it's according to weather forecast 22 degrees outside. I've been outside mowing the lawn and doing some garden work, so I am quite hot and sweaty at the moment. I apologise for that. But anyway, let's get on with the video. So, it occurred to me the other day on a bus journey exactly how much a certain teacher has impacted my life. Their words of wisdom still dictate certain moves I make even now, and I finished school like nearly 10 years ago now. So, and I had some crazy teachers, a lot of who were memorable. Like there was my psychology teacher, Miss Willett, who was literally convinced, that there was a saber-toothed tiger called Neil living in the corner of her lab. She was insane. Then we had Dr. Caseby, who also took psychology, supposedly took psychology, never turned up to teach any of the lessons. So I would often end up teaching the class, despite not knowing what I was meant to be doing myself. There was also Miss Payne, my form tutor. She also took English, but she would just burst into song like every 5 minutes. Just burst into song, and she used to carry this big set of keys on her belt, so you could hear her coming a mile off because she'd be singing, the keys would be jangling, and it was my school was a nightmare basically. And you had the librarian who was deaf. She had a hearing aid, but you could be face to face with her, talk, and she wouldn't hear a word you're saying, but she could magically hear a pin drop on the other end of the library, and she'd come and tell you off for it. At the time, I didn't question it, but I think she may have been lying about being deaf. Either that or there was something very fishy going on with that hearing aid. But anyway, out of all these bizarre teachers... Oh, actually, I haven't mentioned my physics teacher, Mr. Easton. He used to electrocute himself for fun, and electrocute random people in the class as well, and periodically try to blow himself up. I had some strange teachers. The lessons are always fun though. But getting to the point, the teacher who has made the most impact on my life was Mr. Morley. He took German and logic. He was originally from Austria, but then moved over to England. I can't remember when. He did tell me the story once, but I forget. It's been about 10 years. He moved over to England. He was forced to move to England. It was something to do with the war or something. His family were forced to leave. But anyway, he came to England, studied how to teach up in Newcastle, and then over time somehow ended up got a teaching job. Now I was. And so he was the German teacher because he was fluent in German, and he also taught logic, and that was what he took me for, logic. But he was also the deputy head of the school and head of the sixth form. And for those of you who are not in the UK, sixth form would be like, well, you'd stay at school till you were 16, then you'd do your final exams, and after that, depending on how good your grades were, you would either just go, and also, well, depending on what your grades were and what you wanted to do, you would go and either find a job, or go to college, or you would stay in school for another 2 years and do what was called A-levels, which were further qualifications in chosen subjects. Or you could also do BTECs, which were similar but not up to the same standard as A-levels, I believe. I'm not sure. I just did A-levels. So yeah, there was a few options to do. I chose to stay at school and do A-levels, and that 2 years of staying on at school was called sixth form, because the high school in the UK goes years 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then you stay on. So it's literally the sixth form. That's why it's called that. Anyway, so yeah, I stayed on as head of sixth form, deputy head of site. He taught German, taught logic. At my A levels, I chose to do philosophy, psychology, physics, mathematics, and logic. I regret making that choice now, as I ended up failing mathematics. Well, I didn't exactly fail it, I came out with the lowest grade possible. And physics, again, I came out with the lowest grade possible because I couldn't understand a lot of the mathematics at this point. It was getting into some heavy calculus and advanced trigonometry, and it was just going right over my head. And physics I was okay at. I was actually quite good at physics, but I was always paired up with someone who would make equations just completely fail. At one point we even ended up having negative time in one of our experiments, which meant time was going backwards for the duration of that experiment, if we are to believe the equations. So yeah, I ended up failing that because my coursework was just atrocious from where we had these bodged up equations he had invented. But, you know. I'm rambling a lot, I'm not getting to the point of this teacher. Mr. Morley. So, as well as being the head of sixth form and my logic teacher, he was also my personal mentor. So it's like people who were thinking of going to university after doing A-levels would be assigned a personal mentor, which would be one of the teaching staff assigned to them to review their progress for their A-levels, discuss anything, really, any problems they had, and also help with university applications. And so Mr. Morley was my personal one. So I spent a lot of time actually working with Mr. Morley during my A-levels. And there are certain things that he would say which I would sort of shrug off at the time, or just sort of go, yeah, okay, yeah, I hear you, and not really think too much about it. But it's now, there's still, these things that he said are still coming back to haunt me to this day. Like, what was it? I was on the bus the other day, and what was it now he said? I can't remember now. One of the things he did say was, he's given me the biggest compliment anyone has given me in my life. And, you know, at the time, I had admired this guy. He was, in my eyes, the most intelligent person I knew at that time. You know, he had mastered like several languages, he was a brilliant teacher, and was always coming out with profound wisdom. So he was the most intelligent person I thought I knew at the time. And one day during our mentoring sessions, we sat down, and during the conversation he said to me, he said that I was more intelligent than he ever was. I was in shock for that moment. You know, the guy I thought was the most intelligent person was saying I was more intelligent than him. So that made my day, and that's still the biggest compliment I've received to date. And I don't get many compliments now, so that's not saying much. But yeah. But I was also actually fortunate enough as well, after I graduated from uni, he was retiring, and I was asked to go to his retirement party and give a little speech, and I actually wrote a poem for him. I wonder if I can pull it up. I can't, it would require a bit too much work. But if you do want to know the poem, let me know. I'll drop it into another video at some point. Maybe. But yeah. So if not, I'll just put in an annotation with the poem. It's very short. But if you want to know that, yeah, if you want to know, just do that. Let me know in the comments. So he's been my favourite teacher from school. I had a lot of time for this teacher. I think at the time I definitely admired him. I think it might even be close to worship. I always worship this guy almost. So he was my favourite teacher. He helped me a lot. It's a shame I can't remember any of his wisdom, but it sort of pops up at the moment when I need it and then disappears again. So, but anyway, thank you for watching my strange ramblings about teachers. Next week I shall be talking about one of my hobbies actually, so I should look forward to that. Just before I go, actually, I do have some sad news. My gaming channel, which some of you will know me from, I've had a falling out with Quina-chan, so the gaming channel is now dead. That won't be going anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. So see you all next time. Bye.